are making the most easiest, most delicious starter ever. What we are going to do is we're going to make a nice, quick, easy tomato vodka sauce. Yes, you heard me right. It's vodka, not for me to drink. We'll put it in the sauce. And we're going to combine it with a crumbed, deep-fried burrata. So for our tomato sauce, we are going to use some garlic, chili flakes, the vodka sauce, of course, that I mentioned before, our all-gold tomato paste, which is going to be the star of the show, and it's going to make it so quick and easy that we don't have to cut or prep or throw away any of that. We're going to avoid it. I like a short and quick recipe. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to start off by adding some oil to our pan. I'm going to add in the garlic. Needs to have a sizzle. So if you don't see a sizzle or hear a sizzle in the beginning, give it a second, because you want that to crisp up a little bit before we start adding the rest of the ingredients. Cool, I'm gonna use my all-gold tomato paste. Now, all-gold tomato paste, funny story. We use our special own variant of tomatoes. So that's what gives it the unique taste and flavor profile that is not easily matched. So in goes our star. I'm going to add in some black pepper and salt and a little bit of heat. There we go. We're going to add our vodka. And then easy peasy, a little bit of cream. Now you want to add the cream and sort of gauge what consistency you're going for. I want mine to be spreadable because I've got an idea of how I'm going to plate this. So I'm just going to gauge how much of this cream I'm going to add. A little bit more. I think that is where I'm going to stop. We're going to let it cook, that all the flavors marinate together. Jose. A nice, thick, I wish you had smell-o-vision. The cameraman will have to vouch for how good it smells, but easy peasy sauce. Now, when you set up a braiding station, quick tip, make sure you have a dry hand and a wet hand, and that you work systematically to where you're going to drop it in the oil. You'll thank me later, because once you sort of do this, you're going to end up with clumps on your fingers and nothing will coat properly. So make sure you remember to have a dry hand and a wet hand. It will save you lots of time, not to mention a big mess. So we're moving on to the burrata, and what we have is I've got my egg wash ready, just some eggs and a little bit of cream. Milk is fine, nothing too overly complicated. We've got some panko crumbs here. I'm just going to grate in some Parmesan cheese. And I've already seasoned it with black pepper and some salt. Always want to make sure your stuff is seasoned. Give it a rough mix. Then you have to be super delicate when you pick up these little baby cheeses, because it's a layer of mozzarella and inside is a super ooey gooey fresh cheese. So you don't want to break the barrier. But to make sure that the egg wash has something to cling onto, I'm going to roll it in some flour. So this will now become my dry hand. So I'm going to change hands to prevent my mess. So this is now my wet hand. Use my dry hand to coat the burrata fully. Then I have some hot oil. Remember, oil is not your friend. So make sure that as you drop it in that you clear the splash zone. And then hopefully we're going to end up with some lovely golden fried burrata. Let's see. So let's just wait for it to develop a little bit of a crust. Patience is key here. You can see a lovely crust forming. All right, so there we are. We have a lovely golden burrata ball. Now we have to go and plate it with our sauce that we made earlier. All right, now we get to do the fun bit. We are going to plate. So I've got my sauce, and what I'm gonna do, remember I sort of played with the consistency. So I want it quite thick because I wanna make a swoosh, make a little puddle, and then use your whisk to make a swoosh. Try not to overthink it. The more natural it looks, the better. And then we are going to take one of our little balls. All right, so let's just do a garnish. So I'm using some basil because tomatoes and basils make sense. And that's it. The easiest starter that I can recommend.